if you're an owner and you live in Dallas, what do you need to do to prepare for a local emergency? Hi, I'm Steve Rosenberg with Mynd Property Management, and I'm joined today with Murphy Cheatham with Mynd, who is our portfolio manager for our Dallas division. So Murphy, what should people prepare for when it comes to getting ready for an emergency?
Yeah, Steve, thanks for that question. Number one, you need to have an action plan, especially if a lot of our owners aren't in Texas. They're not in Dallas. So you want to have an action plan for a resident relocation in case they need to relocate. You want to have a reserve of funds and also update your insurance policy. Talk to your insurers right now. So that's where we see a lot of loopholes. There's different types of policies out there. So you want to talk with your insurance policy talk to your insurer to see if your insurance policy covers your asset. In case of relocation, natural disaster, one thing or another. And then a third is just your secondary contacts. If we can't get a hold of you, who could we contact, who could get a hold of you, or make a decision
Got it.
in that aspect.
So when you say an action plan, like, would that be maybe finding out who the government housing assistance coordinator would be, or maybe like when you say second relocation of your resident?
Sure.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I think that's a really good time to re-engage, have us re-engage a resident, find out how many people there are in the house. Is it just one single resident with a pet? Is it a family of 2 or 3? Do they have kids? And then if there's something where they need to relocate, are they government subsidized, or are they direct pay, or are they Section 8, where they are in that realm? And if we need to relocate them and put them in temporary housing for whatever reason, what does that look like? Does that look like one night, one day? Do we need to contact the government housing authority, the city's housing department, permits and zoning? We need to really find out who's in your house and what that relocation looks like.
Sure.
And it's not just as simple as, hey, let's call a Sheraton or a Motel 6 or what have you.
Right, because it's probably full, and a lot of things that people don't realize is, especially when a disaster hits, they're normally the insurance companies and the adjusters and the contractors, those have already filled up all the local hotels and have rented a lot of the properties. So you've taken a lot of a lot of the market share is gone with people that are coming as first responders. So you need to think about that. Yeah. And it could be also that, like right now we have the coronavirus. It could very simply be that they can't work. And so that means they can't not pay. Now, it's not to say that you evict them, but that is a situation that if they lose their job at some point, you are going to have to make some decisions as owners of your own property.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do? Because you can maybe not have the funds to sustain that. And the moratorium, whether it's state or local, will only be so long. So again, these are some things that you really, really need to think about when it comes to preparing for that action plan. And secondary contacts are huge, because you may be somewhere that they can't get a hold of you, and you may live out of state or even out of country.
Yes.
And you want to make sure that there's multiple people that can be accessed.
Yeah. And that's a very good point, especially when you're saying, okay, well, somebody just may not be able to go to work. Somebody may have lost their job, or they may be furloughed, or what have you. And there's all these types of discussions going on about what does this stimulus package look like that they're talking about in Congress and in the Senate. Does that mean that they're going to halt all mortgage payments? Because I know a lot of our owners can't necessarily afford to have 2 or 3 months of rent withheld for them while their tenants are working. So it might not be a relocation issue. It might just be a financial issue. And, yes. I say that's not me minimizing that at all. But we don't know what that looks like, right? So I think going back to your earlier question is, from an owner, the best way to prepare for an emergency is kind of to stock up on your funds and be mindful that there might be an interruption of cash flow.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
That's not what we want by any means, but
it's a reality that sometimes you have to deal with. It could be like the coronavirus. It could be a tornado. It could be a hurricane. I mean, there's a hailstorm. I mean, there's many variables that you're not planning on it happening, but it happens. And these are the things you got to think about. And so that's great. Now, Murphy, if somebody wants to maybe talk to you specifically and learn a little bit more, just information wise, how would they get a hold of you?
Sure. The number here is 888-866 6727 888-866-6727. Also, you can email askmurphy@mind.co. Ask, MURPHY, @mind.co. MYND.co.
That's great. So on behalf of Murphy and myself, I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to keep the conversation going, join our Facebook group.